Hello, everyone. Welcome to Game Vault Podcast News Hour. I'm your host, Mark. As you probably noticed last week, we did not have a news hour. I hope you went over to the YouTube channel and watched my reactions to Xbox and Summer Game Fest. The Ubisoft Forward will go up probably this weekend. There wasn't much there. I was a little tired, so not much in the entertainment-wise. But if you want to just see my opinions on the games that were announced there, it'll be up there. Yeah, and I agree with Metal Militia. We'll get to that in a second, that Xbox wins the summer. But let's start off with our normal opening, what I've been playing. Hasn't been a whole lot, as you've noticed on the channel. We've only, I think I had one stream that wasn't a watch-along. I'm assuming that's what this time of year is going to be. Hopefully, Metal Militia and Jen, when they are back next year, they'll be able to fill in the gaps for me while I'm focusing on Summer Game Fest stuff. Hello, Game Ball Cat. Yeah, so I should have shut my door. So, yeah, it's going to be a little more content next year. Why is my glasses there? That's weird. I have a feeling the camera's on some kind of tilt. Because I think my glasses are fine. Okay, this is why I'm going to go glassesless. I might lean up to read the chat, but yeah. Always bothers me when we do Big Mark and I have glasses on. So, anyway. I played a couple games. Not anything you've seen here. I did a Mario stream in the last 2 weeks. We're about halfway through the final world. I believe I finished the castle or died in the castle. Right at the end of the last stream. We'll pick up there on Monday. Or today if you're listening to the podcast. So we should be finished with that. I'm assuming if there's not an extra world, we should finish that either tonight, if you're listening to the podcast, or next Monday. So, yeah. And we're going to have probably, what's it called? We'll probably do Persona on Sunday. One of the Game Vault kids is getting christened on Saturday. And it is very far away. So I don't think I'll be home in time to do do it right for Persona. I got an 8 a.m. softball game, and then probably out until probably for the next 14 hours I'll be out of the house. 14 to 15 hours between driving and softball and christening stuff. So Persona will be on Sunday. Yeah, but anyway, to the games I've been playing. During this little bit of time I had, I didn't want to play anything narrative heavy, just because I didn't want to get sucked in. I didn't really have a lot of time. But I played through NHL 24 to get, play the whole playoff in the 2 weeks since we last talked. The one thing that still disappoints me, there's one thing they get right. I love when you win the Stanley Cup and you get to choose who to hand the cup off to, and they have little different things they say. I wish it had enough knowledge to say, hey, your captain has won 3 Stanley Cups. They keep track of how many cups have been won. Don't know why they couldn't just have a line there. You can splice it together, because I'm sure they say the word Stanley Cup, 3, or any number, and 1, and you can sort of splice that together. I'm sure an AI can do that. They do the cool thing where I'm assuming it takes a lot more memory to do what I want to do here, but they do cool enough that they etch your name on the Stanley Cup. So you see all the names of the team you built on there. They don't put the coaches or anything, which is kind of weird. So it looks a little shorter than everything else. But yeah, the Stanley Cup thing's cool, but then they don't raise the banner the next season. So what's the point in playing franchise? You might as well just play one single season on there. there's no point in doing it. All right. All right, have fun with your raid, Night Duck. Yeah, good. This is just going to be... You were with me for most of the two things, so this is really just a recap for people that just listen to the podcast or, weren't around or haven't watched the YouTube videos yet. So you're not missing anything. Don't worry about it. So yeah, I'm a little upset that they don't do the banner raising. I mean, NBA 2K does the ring ceremony. I mean, just do something stupid like that and they raise a banner. Like, I can't imagine it takes that much memory to just have, like, a cut scene like that. It's stupid, I know, but they did it in the past with less space on the disc, so I don't know why they can't do it. Hopefully NCAA gets that right. They seem to in all the footage I've seen. So, yeah, hopefully that works. And the other game I played, which is one I'll have a little bit more to talk about, not in a good way. I downloaded AEW Fight Forever, because it's free on PlayStation? Question mark? I think it's PlayStation. I've done a lot in the last 2 weeks and talked about a lot of video games. So I played it through, and I realized something that maybe as I've grown up, and since I play a lot more single-player wrestling, which is why I end up buying the WWE 2K games sometimes, and then I play them for a week, and then I'm done. It's like, I don't know if I actually engage with those games as games. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'll go in there, I'll create a character, I'll make his entrance, we'll see the entrance a few times, and then I'm done. The Be a GM mode is fine, but only if you have enough time to play through it. That was fun when I did it for 22, but yeah, it's just... I think all my love for wrestling games, besides being a teenager at the height of the Attitude Era, was playing it with my friends. So I played through AEW Fight Forever, and let me read your thing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing I've realized as I've gotten older, is... all those games that I loved when I was younger with wrestling, I did it because I was playing with my friends and we got to get together and talk trash and, do all that stuff. So the short entrances for, like, No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 and stuff, or generic entrances, didn't really bother us. Now, playing solo, I want to see the entrance. I want to hear the music. I want to hear the crowd when the music goes. Like, all that pomp and circumstance stuff that comes with it. AEW, very short. I don't even know how much of the song they get. I went through a couple of them. I've only seen like 2 like special things that isn't just a person coming out, walking, standing on stage, and then they teleport to the ring. Even No Mercy had them walk down the ramp, even though it's a short ramp. So Adam Cole, he cuts into the middle when he's standing on the ropes and does the boom, and then they do Adam Cole, baby. And then that's it. It's literally like 10 to 15 seconds. And then when CM Punk comes out, because yes, CM Punk is in that game, he does the tap the ground, tap his wrist, and it's clobbering time, except he doesn't say anything. He just goes like this, because I don't know if they could get the rights to him yelling it's clobbering time. Or they didn't even try. And that's about it. That's all I saw. The wrestling is fine. I played a few matches. It does handle a lot more like No Mercy than 2K. Probably somewhere in the middle, more than one or the other. But not enough to keep me interested. And having no personality for the wrestlers really doesn't drive it for me. So I am so glad that I waited to pick it up for free and did not purchase that game. And also, I have not tried since, but I went to go to the PlayStation Store to see how much they were selling the new characters for. Went to hit the button, open the store to see how much to buy Season 5. Unable to go to the store. So I guess they're just not selling the DLC anymore? I don't know if it was a one night thing or if it's my computer. I I think you can do both. I forget. I was so frustrated playing it. I want to say it defaults to the stick, but I'm not 100% sure. If you have a PS5, Tom, just download it and give it a whirl and then decide for yourself. It's like, yeah, it's very disappointing. But yeah, I didn't have fun with it. Yeah, so very, very disappointing. And I still have to investigate if you can buy the DLC. So we will go from there. So that's all I basically played this week. Coming up this week, off-stream games that I'll be talking about, just in case. It's going to be spoiler talk, at least sometime in the next week or two. Because I am going to play the Alan Wake 2 DLC, which we'll talk about in a second. About the announcement, not the DLC. I haven't played it yet. Which, by the way, was a really strange way to download that DLC or buy it, since I downloaded Alan Wake 2 on Game Pass. Really just buried in a menu to be able to buy that. So we're going to do that in the next week or two. So, let's get on with the news. There we go, Mark. I'm still rusty. Sorry about that for the people watching on YouTube. So we have the yeah, you got a little bit to go. Luckily, depending on how much you want to do, after the next chapter, you can make your decision what you want to do. Not to spoil anything for you, but you're pretty close. But yeah, you're at the tipping point in terms of chapter numbers. So anyway, let's pop in Summer Games Fest. We'll be real quick here. I'm only really going to talk about the games that I am looking forward to. We'll start right off the bat. Lego Horizon is amazing looking, and I don't know if I'll actually play it just because I feel like it's a better two-player game. I don't like Horizon's story enough to get amped about a Lego version of it, but I would love to play with, a younger cousin or something like that. With it, I think for all the people that hated how much Aloy talked in, in Forbidden West, they're gonna hate this Lego game. So fuck Quidditch. No Room in Hell. It was one of those games that not really gonna play with. But it looks really cool. So I'll come back just in case if chat pops up here. So Star Wars Outlaws looks amazing. It's what I would want from a Star Wars game. In that, while I'm a fan and enjoy the movies, I'm not obsessed with the world or the Jedi side of the world and all that. This is the stuff that's really interesting to me. What is everyone else doing? While all this Empire and Jedi stuff is going on. Like, what are the, people that are like Han Solo doing that didn't join up with the rebellion? Like, what are they, what are they doing? That's why this stuck out to me. And the structure of earning rep with certain people is sort of a gameplay mechanic that I really do enjoy. So the Ubisoft, I would watch that if you're interested in it. It gives a lot more than what was on Summer Games Fest. The thing I'm probably most excited for, from a Mark standpoint, that was here, is Civilization 7. I've been debating going back to Civ 6, but I really haven't had the time to sit down. And I've also been suckered into possibly, it's like Heart of Iron or something like that, which is a World War II sort of mix between Crusader Kings and Civilization. But I am ecstatic for this, because by the time Civ 6 got everything out and done, um, Sid was able to get to a place where it was good. Um, you know, it's still the people that love the early Civs are still going to hate these Civs. Um, but I think Civ 6 got to a really good place. Made me stop playing 5 at one point, which I loved it. I think I had over 1,000 hours in 5. Um, Mainly because every game takes like 30 hours, so you play it enough. I tried to beat it with every civilization on every difficulty. So since I only play single player, but Civ 7 looks great. I want to see what the innovations are they have on it. Yeah, it looks like I want to see what they focus more on there. Dragon Ball, if you love Dragon Ball, great. I never really watched it, but the anime and the video games always look friggin' cool. So I don't have a Quest, so while Batman looks cool, I have no opinion. I love what they did with Bison here. I love the Fatal Fury crossover. Not much of a fighting game guy. I'm not really any good at them at all. If you think I'm bad at platformers, wait until you see me try to play a fighting game. But I love the art and the design and the stories of the characters. So, it's a pretty big deal for those in the fighting community. I mean, Maximilian Dude basically wouldn't stop talking about it for 25 minutes on his watch over of this. So that let me know enough that I needed to know. Blumhouse Games thing is huge for Roxy and oh man, I'll lose in the first round. Yeah, I should try to find the old video of if we still have the Extra Life videos. It's one of the first ones where me and Ant try to play Street Fighter 4 at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just getting my ass whooped because I'm A, tired, B, I'm not any good at them. And Ant isn't like, Justin Wong at these games or anything. But, yeah. But Blumhouse Games, I sent the video immediately to Kitty Ashcat. She loved it. Looking forward to, she was more into the newer update in this game here, Theater of Idols. She liked that, and she liked the what was it? It was the one that had like PS1 graphics. She liked that. Jen was all about the farming sim. That's a horror game, so you'll definitely be seeing this around these parts, whether it's me hosting Jen or maybe Kitty Ashcat jumps on a stream with me. I think this is as a Game Vault Pod collective, this might have been our favorite game of the tournament, Jesus, of the show. I feel like me and Tom are going to play this, and I don't know when. I don't know if we play the whole thing. I tried to play the Turtles game with Dan, but that was when Dan didn't have a lot of time to stream, and then by the time we did get enough time, he had already beaten it on his own. So I was like, I don't want to go through it again with him. And also there was a lot of bugs with multiplayer, but we are going to find a day to play this every single week or something like that, and play through it. So look forward to that in the future. Mecha Break, we saw this twice. If you love Mecha or Gundam, it looks really cool. This game here, don't know anything about it. Not really. It's a Sluter. But this game got us muted on Twitch. No idea why this game is the only one that got muted. This game, The First Descendant. No idea. You would think it'd be the next one, but no, The First Descendant. That's what got us muted. So next up is Alan Wake 2. Like I said, we're going to talk about this for the next week or two, so I'm just going to say I screamed Jesse Faden like 3 or 4 times when she popped up on screen because I love Control. It was my game of the year. I was ecstatic to see her pop up in this. Um, and then next up was Skate with the weird, what's his name, Tim Robinson stuff. Was pretty good. Um, that this game, Skate will either be out in 5 years, or they're going to shadow drop it at like TGS. It's just going to drop. Like they're going to do that alpha beta thing or whatever's coming up, or the pre-alpha, or the server test thingy, or whatever they were jokingly call it. Yeah, as soon as that is done, I say they shadow drop it 2 weeks later. It's either going to be that, or we're not seeing it until like 2028. Those are really the only two options in my head. I can't wait to see which it is. Valorant, never really played it. Looks cool. We'll skip. Among Us was great. The one thing I'll say about the Among Us, the Outer Sloth shit, where they're helping out independent game studios and small studios, give them a little boost of money, help them out. Great idea for what's going on in the industry, and they are two of the cutest people on the planet, and I'm glad that they took the initiative here, and it should be really good. Again, haven't really seen much of Dune, so looks fine, but it doesn't do anything for me. Same with Kingdom Come Deliverance. I loved the story in the trailer. I might check it out, but yeah, it just didn't. I didn't play the first one, nor really had any connection to it, so this trailer was just like a normal trailer for me. Slitterhead looks fine. I don't know exactly what the gameplay is. I guess you're jumping in and out of people's heads. So I think if this shows up on Game Pass or anything like that, I'll probably play it. This just looks like another attempt at trying to do something Call of Duty, that military shooter-esque, and I don't think it's going to succeed. Delta Force is a thing that's been out a long time, so it's basically a remake, going, they have Black Hawk Down content, which, that story's very problematic, but I guess when you already had the tie-in back in the day, you had to stay with it. Next up, Killer Bean. Interesting. I don't know if it really grabbed me, but it's got a great sense of humor. They're a little quirky. I don't know. Maybe if it becomes a thing, I'll check it out. My next favorite game from this is Wander Stop. The cozy game aspect of it is great, but if you have ever seen anything from Ivy Road, and I think he's a part of Ivy, but either way, David Werden, who did the Stanley Parable. If you played the Stanley Parable, Stanley Parable 2, the end of this trailer should have gotten you just as excited as I was. When it started to turn and do the M. Night Shyamalan twist sort of thing, I was like, I'm in. I need to see what the Stanley Parable-esque twist to this is. And it's going to be amazing. I also like that shitheads that watch this totally talked over the twist that is making this a really good game just by screaming that since it was a cozy game, it was way woke. So that was also fun to find out. But Wander Stop, number 1. And then New World looks fine. I may check it out. I don't know. It's one of those I'm on the fence about. There's so many games, especially when we get to the Xbox conference, which I'm purposely leaving for the second half of this podcast, that I may check this out. Pal World, totally not Pokemon, is out, and now they evolve, or whatever they're calling it. But yep, definitely not. Definitely not Pokemon with evolutions. Monster Hunter is a game I really want to get into, but I don't really have the time. It looks amazing. This trailer, I love the character designs, but I have to. There's so many other games I have to play. But if you want to know great things. Talk to Night Duck. He's really a big Monster Hunter guy, and you know, this is really for him. There. Path of the Goddess. I download it because it's one of the ones you can pre-download on Game Pass. So I'm looking forward to it. Just want to see if I actually have the skill to play it, or if it's one of those that I don't. Phantom Blade Zero. Again, looks like something I'd have a good time with, but I just don't have the time to do it. Did they not have Metaphor in here? Did I miss Metaphor? I'm going to scroll back up and see if I missed Metaphor. I don't think I did. Huh. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, that was Summer Games Fest, but let me talk about Metaphor. That game is 100% a Mark game. That is very Persona-esque and everything about it, outside of probably, I don't know how much of the Social Link High School stuff will be in there, but the gameplay and the way, the reason the characters are there and do all that, is very much something I will enjoy. If that is on Game Pass, I'm 100% downloading it and playing it. Probably for stream. It'll probably become our Saturday game. We'll play it together. We'll learn it together. And so, yeah, I am very, very excited about Metaphor. I'm unsure why it's not on here, because it was announced at Summer Games Fest. But yeah, so Keighley did it again. Summer Games Fest was great in terms of outside of this, Day of the Devs and all the other stuff surrounding it, and all the stuff they were able to get on the floor out there, and what they did, and as a whole, Keighley kicked ass again with this, and found a way to evolve E3 even after what's it called? E3 is gone. So yeah, let's switch on over to Xbox. This was more the big thing. This was the highlight of the weekend. Yeah, so Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. So we'll start off. We're probably going to talk about just about every game on here, just to let you know. There's a few mecha breaks in here too, so we'll probably not do that. But the time period is great for someone who's a little bit of a history nerd like myself. I get some people saying I lived through it. I don't want to rehash it or do alternate history of it. But just love the fact that I transitioned from the end of the Cold War through Bush through Clinton, post Reagan, Gulf War, Berlin Wall falling. That whole time period is ripe for fun stuff to reimagine and do. So I am excited for the campaign. We may play the campaign on stream. Not entirely sure, but I am pumped that it's on Game Pass, so I don't have to buy it, so I can play the multiplayer. I don't know if there'll be any detriment to playing it Game Pass, but yeah, I am stoked for Call of Duty. Doom: The Dark Ages. I'll make a confession. I played an hour of both Doom and Doom Eternal. Loved it, but it's just games came up and then I forgot about it. Be 100% honest. Forgot about it. Probably should go back, but there's other games coming out, and just probably won't do it. Yeah. So this looks great. The best thing is putting a fur cape on him, or fake fur, or whatever. Yeah. 2016 is probably the one I got the furthest in, but I hear that that's normal for Eternal, that people didn't really vibe with that as much, but having a shield, a Captain America-esque shield, that is also a chainsaw, is amazing, and I will at least jump in and check it out, since it's going to be on Game Pass. State of Decay 3, again, as I mentioned on the watch along, if you want to watch that, it's on YouTube right now. And get my live reaction to a couple things later on this in this list. State of Decay 3 feels like a game 10 years ago that I would have loved to play with, Dan, Metal Militia, Jen, just like a Left 4 Dead sort of thing, like we tried to do for Back 4 Blood. I feel like we could have all collaborated and had some fun with State of Decay. Especially where the expansion that 3 is doing to the gameplay from what I saw. So I love the look of it. Again, I don't think it's a game I can play solo, especially with everything else coming out. But it's definitely worth checking out if you do have friends that you play games with. I shouldn't pause after that if you have friends, because it makes it sound like I don't have friends. But I do. And that statement makes it really sound like I don't have friends. I'm getting tired, folks. So Dragon Age Veilguard, I liked it. I would love to see, I didn't go back and look, but it was originally called, I think, Dire Wolf or Dredge Wolf or something. And this feels a little more Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, goofy, rather than that seemed a little more darker and scary. But, yeah. Dragon Age is one of those series I wish I got into, but, again, didn't. But everything looks really cool about this. But I would love to see what the change in vibe, was. Fallout 76, trying to jump on that Amazon Prime thing by allowing you to play as a ghoul, so you can be hot like Walton Goggins. But you'll have to wait till 2025 for that. But yeah, just more expansion to that. It's gotten a lot better since launch. I can attest to that. I played it a little bit. But yeah, if you love playing as ghoul or you kind of think they're hot, you can play as them now. Starfield DLC looks good, but I'm probably not going to go back to it. Even though the House of Vune or Varun, or however you say it, is a very interesting side story that you never touched in the main game. So, yeah, it didn't do anything to bring me back in. Nothing. I don't think there was any hooks in that game to bring me back. Like not a character that I want, or anything like that. To go. World of Warcraft, never played it. Probably one of my biggest gaming holes. And yeah, looks neat. People were excited. I just have no attachment to it. This was one of my top 3 games of the show, it looks like. Claire Obscure, or however it's French. Expedition 33 looks rad. And it looks like it's a turn-based RPG. So, Tom, hell yeah, raise the roof. Turn-based RPGs. It looks very much like Lost Odyssey, is what the vibes it was giving me, and I love Lost Odyssey. So, that is definitely on my list to play. Probably one of my top 3 games of the show. Here, so, yeah, just check that out. Yeah, I love the idea of that number counts down and people that are that age all die. That's a fucking great concept. South of Midnight, still looks amazing. Probably top 5, not top 3, but I'm really looking forward to it. I believe it's on Game Pass, so I'm 100% playing it, whether I stream it or not. I haven't decided, but awesome visuals. I love the look. I love the sound of it, the music, just everything about it looks really good, and I can't wait for it. I think the type of gameplay is the only thing that is stopping it from being in the top 3 for me. But yeah, South of Midnight, great. Metal Gear Solid, goes in its own bucket, just because I played Snake Eater. This looks like more Snake Eater and looks better high-res Snake Eater. The boss looks great. They didn't reveal Ocelot, so little disappointed in that. But yeah, this is going to be great, and I'm definitely going to play it, but not on stream. Maybe maybe on stream because I have beaten it before, so I won't have to worry about spoilers. Sea of Thieves, again, 10 years ago, me, Tom, and Jen probably would have been all over that and playing on stream for you guys. But, yeah, that was Game Vault Cat, if you heard that bump. She hit her head on the bottom of the table. So, I can't believe it's on Season 13, but I guess you can be a villain now, so hopefully that's a twist for people. Flintlock is a game I'll definitely wait to see. I like what I've seen of it, but I just want to make sure that it's not a mess, because it can very easily be a mess. So I'll wait for reviews on that. It's going to be on Game Pass, so I'll be able to check it out next month. I probably won't play it anytime soon, because if you look at that date, the most important game of the year comes out the next day. So, and so we get to probably excitement-wise, my number 2 game of the show here, Perfect Dark. The Perfect Dark reboot looks spectacular. They did the right thing by not doing a just remake of the first game. It looks and feels different. Joanna looks different. I didn't recognize her at first. But yeah, it looks really good. There's a lot of great changes in it, and I can't wait to see what they do. I think you know my number 1. We'll get to it soon. But it's Crystal Dynamics, and it's going to be great. It should be great. There's no reason this game should not be at least an 8. At least, with everything that's behind it and what I've seen in the trailer, there's no reason this game shouldn't be lower than an 8. It looks great. Age of Mythologies, a game that I heard about when I was really into Age of Empires and Empire Earth and stuff like that, when those games were coming out, that I was told to go play. Did not. Excited to go check this out here. And, just to see what it's all about. Night Duck absolutely loves this, or played it a lot. I don't know if those are the same with him, but he seemed to really get curious about this when it popped up on screen. Diablo 4, if you love Diablo, go watch this stuff. It looks really good. I'm not really never really got into Diablo. So I'm just not going to talk about it much, just because it's, you're not going to want an opinion of somebody that hasn't really played the games. So, next up, Fable. I like the direction they're taking Fable. They're keeping enough of the humor, but also updating it so that it's, to what the new feeling of like this kind of story is. So I am excited to see where they take it. I want to see if there's character creator, and this is just the character they created, because they never name her at all. So that'll be interesting once we get hear about it. But yeah, definitely gonna play it since it's on Game Pass. Fragpunk. Looks interesting. I think there's already a game out that's kind of like it already. I don't know the name of it. But yeah, the idea of the cards and changing the world, like I said, I'm not a 5v5 shooter guy, so it didn't do much for me, but if you're into all that, it's a nice twist on that concept. Of course, I'm going to play Winterboro. I don't know if I'll play it on stream, but give me a good cozy game. I will play it for a little bit there. Just it's on Game Pass, so I'll at least get to try it out. But yeah, I did get the feels, as they say. So next up is Mixtape. So pardon the pun, but I did have mixed emotions about this. I love the idea of, it's very much feeling like Perks of Being a Wallflower, in terms of the game is set in a time and place with music of that time and place, and it makes it feel Like, you feel that you're in that space. I don't know if I like the, like, when they're flying around. I don't know what that will be about. I don't know if there's any supernatural stuff to this or what, but I will definitely play it because it's going to be on Game Pass. But yeah, the which is going to be funny with the next game I talk about. But just I very much felt that got that Perks feeling, because Perks Being Wallflower is one of my favorite movies. Probably, if you gave me probably top 15 at least of all time that I've seen. And I wanted to stay grounded with that and not go into any weird supernatural stuff. I think you could very much live in the music, triggering memories and things like that, and not have floating around in the space. But that could just be me. And my number one game of the show, Life is Strange, a direct sequel, Life is Strange, where we're playing as older Max, and it looks like they made the Bay canonical. Love that the Bay ending, B-A-Y, is canonical, because I wrote an entire article about this in that I could never understand the Bay people, the BAE people, choosing Chloe over the whole town, because I felt, and I'll do a little mini rant here, nobody's going to read that, it was on a website that doesn't exist anymore. The whole idea of the game is that, or Life is Strange, the first one, in my opinion, what I felt the whole entire game is Max coming to terms with, she sees her friend die. Or she sees a girl die and then finds out that that girl is her friend. Former best friend. But in the real world, she died, but she used the rewind powers to stop it. And now she gets to spend some time with her friend that she hasn't seen for 5-10 years. I forget what the exact thing. Ever since her dad died in a car accident or something. Sorry, spoilers for Life is Strange. I'm not caring at this point because I need to say all this to get my point across. So, that's the whole thing, is that, in my opinion, the idea of the game is Max coming to terms with that her friend is dead. But she gets to spend this one last time and help solve the murder of her friend, Rachel, and, sort of make everything right in the world. So she sort of goes out of hand, tornado comes, all this stuff. But when it comes to the choice of, do you let Chloe go or do you save the town? And the choose the town option, and they did this by having it be a longer cutscene, is the one that makes the most sense, because, as I wrote in the article, there are family members and friends and stuff that we have lost that we would just love to spend just one more day with them. I made the example of my uncle, who had passed away probably about 5 years before that. Trying to remember exactly when the game came out. But, and I just said in that, I was like, I would love to just, get one more beer with him at this bar we used to go to. That would be great. I don't need him alive, and we don't need to go run on some relationship. Like run away and, destroy the entire town. I know where the Bay people come from, the BAE people. They just love the romance of Max and Chloe and just wanted them to be happy and go run off and have their fun, happy, gay relationship. And that's fine. But I don't think that's the meaning of the game. And I hope that this game shows that Max learned that lesson, and that's why she's not trying to save her friend in her reality. She's saving her in another one while solving the crime in the current one. And I love the idea that she has another power. And my number one thing, I just wanted to get that Life is Strange stuff off my chest. The number one thing I love is I love the name of the game being Double Exposure. because Max's big thing is photography. So it's a great title. Like, True Colors was fine because of all the colored emotion stuff, but it didn't really. This is perfect. It's chef's kiss for this. So I am really, really, really excited for this. I don't know if we'll play it on stream because it's a very personal game to me, so I may just want to enjoy it on my own, but just know that we are going to be talking a lot about this game. Microsoft Flight Simulator, my favorite part about this is the comment from Jonathan. It was like, everything else going on in this game outside of being the pilot looks like the fun part. And I could not agree with him more. That was so much fun. Just having, like, we came to this, like, he mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, doing the search and rescue, it'd be so much cooler to be the guy down there rescuing the people, not the person in the helicopter. So, yeah, that was fun. And then the other funny thing I've seen on the internet is being the pilot for the rich people and just flying them into, hoping that there was like an eject button for you and you can fly them into cliffs to kill the rich people. I thought that was funny, and I want to see how many videos come out of people doing that, if you can do it. But it still looks great. It is a marvel what they've done with Flight Simulator. And now you can do commercial flights. I can do my thing I did where I tried to put it on autopilot, go to sleep, and wake up and see if I'd made it to the destination that was 7 hours away. Because it ran in real time. You could have it run in real time. And next up, Indiana Jones looks fantastic. Troy Baker does a really good impression of Harrison Ford. It has all the trademark Indiana Jones humor, setting, and it has one of my favorite parts of everything Indiana Jones, soft-spoken Nazis that you get to beat the shit out of. That's an Indiana Jones hallmark, and I love it. I think the game's going to be real good. I hope the story's good, but everything around it seems amazing. Yeah, that's your... Yeah, I can see that being your second game of the show. Yeah. It looks real good. Next up, this is interesting. Again, I don't think it's on game. I don't know if I'll get to it right away on Game Pass, but I will at least give it a try. I love the concept. I like the idea. I think it's a really cool idea. So, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, definitely something I'll check out. I'm on the fence with Avowed. I'm sorry. I think it looks real cool. I just don't know what it is yet. Yeah, I didn't. Maybe I missed what I'm supposed to get from it, but yeah, I just didn't. I just didn't get it. Yeah, to like not get it in the sense that I don't want to play it. Like I'm like, okay, this looks kind of different than when I saw it before, you know. So just wait until it comes out. Atomfall, I'm gonna give it a shot just because I am a Fallout fan, so I want to see what this different take is on Fallout. So again, all these things being on Game Pass is going to make me at least be able to run through them, just report back to everyone. Not run through the full game, but at least let people know what they're all about. But Atomfall definitely on the list of games that I will at least give a shot to. It's the Sniper Elite team, so I'm imagining there'll be some great gunplay here. But I did quite enjoy that. Assassin's Creed. I got to see what kind of Assassin's Creed game it is before I decide if I'm jumping in on it or not. As much as I kind of loved the other ones, they were just way too long in terms of being an RPG and doing all the things RPGs need to be like way too long of a video game, and never really captured my attention. I hope this goes back to the shorter non-RPG-esque Assassin's Creeds. So, but the stealth gameplay looks amazing. The ninja is going to be the most fun part. Um, and then next up is Stalker 2 here. I know Night Duck and Testy Kills, yes, in Adamfall. So Stalker 2 here looked great. It was one of those things where we found out we could accidentally get under, not for real, but sort of a thing that could get under Night Duck's skin with calling this the wrong game the entire time, as I did. Go watch the Xbox stream. That was a good time. But yeah, it looks great. I'm glad that the studio, with everything that's going on over in the Ukraine, was able to get this out. And I'm sure it'll be worth it for people that enjoyed the first game. It definitely piqued my interest going forward. So again, I don't know if it's a Game Pass game. I doubt it is, but yeah, I might check it out later, but not right away because there's a lot of games that I need to check out on Game Pass first. So the final two things here, I'll leave them both on the screen so we can talk about them at the same time. I like the idea of an all digital X, but I would like it to have been 2 terabytes instead of 1 terabyte. That's probably the only thing wrong with it, in my opinion. I think it's a right choice to do an all digital X, especially in white. I love that white look. Probably because it would fit better next to my PlayStation than my black one. But yeah, they're doing the special edition. I guess that's the disc one. That's 2 terabyte. But the digital should be the terabyte one, and the disc should be the less space one. But the big news here in the middle is they're doing a 1 terabyte Series S, which if I remember correctly, especially when I tried to install Avatar onto my niece's Series S that she has, I think it was 500 gigabyte, the original. So glad to see that going up to 1 terabyte for people that did that just want this experience. At this point, if you're going to do the monthly payment thing, if they're still doing that, you go for the X. If you can afford the extra $10, $15 or whatever it was a month, there's no point. Now that it's all digital, there's no point to not go for the X. I feel like the S is going to start going on sale and sort of separating itself in price to kind of sell. And finally, the final game of the show, which might get me to jump back into Gears. Gears of War E-Day will now explain a lot of the things we learned in the first Gears of War. I played through the first 3, haven't played the newer ones. So I am excited to get some answers to some things, because if you remember, I believe in the first one, Marcus, you're breaking Marcus out of prison, I believe. So to find out how he ends up there is going to be fun, and I feel like this is the right way to go instead of keeping with the Gear 6 stuff. Even though I am not, 100% on board with that stuff, but I'm 100% on board with this. And just real quick, if you're really into Call of Duty, that thing they did after the showcase is well worth your watch if you haven't watched it yet. A lot of reveals about things. Got me all excited for multiplayer. It's a good way to put it, Jonathan. Yes, it is the Halo Reach of the Gears series. But yeah. So if you're really into Call of Duty and stuff, go check out the direct or whatever the frig they called it afterwards. It'll get you excited. I'm excited for the story just because I'm a history nerd. But yeah. So that was everything from the 2 showcases. Just talking about the games. I didn't have time to dive into news stuff that's come out. Maybe we'll pick up some newsy things that came out during the week for next week's show. I just really wanted to do a recap here. We're going to go back to Big Mark. Mark will take off his glasses so that he's not distracted by them. If you want to see my live reactions to things, including my not realizing that was Max until 2/3 of the way through the Life is Strange trailer, those videos are over on YouTube. Like I said, the Ubisoft one's going up this weekend. Like I said, it wasn't as entertaining of a show just because a lot of the things have already been announced. I was exhausted. So I tried my best to push through it for you guys there. So be sure to check that out. So that'll do it for our show. We'll be back, like I said, if you're watching this live on Twitch. We're going to do Persona on Sunday. Because I don't think I'm getting home till like 10 o'clock tomorrow from everything I have to do. So I do not want to start Persona at 10 o'clock, especially if I got to get up for an 8 a.m. softball game the next day. So we'll do Persona on Sunday. And then Monday we will do Super Mario World. We should get to the end of World 6, hopefully. By then. The podcast will come out as well. And then we'll be back on our schedule. Which as of now is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then if I want to pop a game in on Thursday, I will. That's sort of our up in the air day, whether I'm going to do it or not. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday are our definite days. Friday is the news hour, or we watch a trailer beforehand and then the news hour. And then Saturday is Persona, and Sunday, God, it's been so long. I forget what I decided for Sunday. I'll discuss it with Tom and Jonathan offline if they remember. But I did have a game that I was going to play for Sunday. But that was like 2 weeks ago. I completely forget. There's been so many video game news in my head. So we will be back for all that. Thank you for joining me. This is always fun. It's always fun hanging out with you guys. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Let's get those numbers up. Thankful for the ones that already have. Those that watch the videos over there. It makes the labor that much more worth it. And then make sure that you like and subscribe here. Use that Prime subscription for us here. But yeah, this is fun. For this on Monday, be sure to check out all the archives of things that have gone up over the weekend, and get ready for Super Mario World. We'll see you next time. Bye!